find good girls or good women, right? Um, there's two places, right? There's one you can focus on nocturnal spaces or degenerate spaces, which is kind of where a lot of people lean into. We'll get into that. And then the other one is sober spaces, or what I would call aesthetic spaces, right? Spaces where the sun is out, it is daytime, people are usually sober. Um, and so I'll focus on the positive first because the negative is always easy to lean into. So these aesthetic spaces I'm referring to, I'm talking about, any kind of habitus, right? Cultural spaces or places with cultural capital. And so that could be, what comes to mind for me is a library, a coffee shop, a used bookstore, a museum, walking around the park. It could be anywhere that, like I said, the sun is out. And I am sorry if you live somewhere where the sun is not out. Most of the time during the day, I do apologize. That does happen. I'm not trying to rub it in. But anyhow, you want to focus on finding women in these sober spaces because this is where serendipity happens. This is where you can find someone on the fly, going about your business, doing interesting things, gaining experience. And so some of the better interactions I've ever had ever have been in these type of places. Why? Because the type of people that visit these places are generally people that you want to be around. Uh, Someone who's civil, who values these things, right? Who tends to be more educated, who probably speaks better, who has more interesting things to say, who probably dresses better as well. And the thing is, you can't really hide much in daytime spaces, right? If someone has terrible skin, is ugly, is not dressed well, things of that nature, it's gonna show. So, like I said, these are the places where you want to lean into if you want to invest in someone in the long term. The problem is most people don't do that. I think what ends up happening is that people end up going the route of, I'm going to go out at night and I'm going to look for someone in some of these late night spots, which usually means that there's going to be alcohol involved. Um, and like I said, I'm against trying to find something long term. If you're looking for something short term, by all means, go the route of alcohol, loud music, dark spaces, a lot of regret, a lot of ratchetness, a lot of degeneracy. You'll be able to find something there. I'm sure you will. And look, granted, of course you might be able to find a good person in those places, but do realistically for me, I would say for me, my standard is that I generally do not want to find someone there. That's just me. Um, and I've never felt comfortable. So that's the thing too, is like maybe you feel more comfortable doing that. I've never felt comfortable trying to talk to women in these nocturnal spaces. I've always felt very uneasy about it, and for good reason. And I'm glad that I never got comfortable with it because the reality is I never wanted someone in those places to begin with. It just wasn't an arena that I wanted to compete in. Um, so like I said, if you're gonna go the short-term route, go that route. But my advice to you is absolutely take the daytime route, take the aesthetic route. Get yourself dressed up, get some sun, get some fresh air, do some of these sober things. Um, and I guarantee you'll be able to find somebody that I think would be better suited for something long term. Um, and like I said, it could be anywhere, but the reality is it could even be a plaza, it could be on the way to the gym. The point is that you're doing things during the day and not waiting to try to find someone at night. This will be the best place to find someone. And never mind online dating, forget it. It's there's nothing about that is natural. You're actually ruining your chances of finding a mate properly, right? The way you should be, which is in action, out and about, doing things that you would normally do. Because the reality is, if you do things that you're interested in doing, you'll find people that you have interest in. It makes sense. So do the things that are going to require you to get outside and find somebody. That's where you get the best matches, right? Not online swiping. I like I said, believe me, from my perspective, I've done that. My experience, I've done it. It's not as good as they make it out to be. I mean, at least that's the way it makes it seem, right? Like it seems very easy. But you don't want easy. You want difficult. You want something worthwhile that'll take time to find. And this is what you do, right? So lean into these daytime spaces, these aesthetic spaces. You can thank me later because I'm almost certain you will find what you're looking for if that's what you're into. Like I said, be my guest. If you're into the nocturnal spaces, do your thing there. But my advice to you would be to take advantage of these daytime spaces while you can and enjoy it.